I've got the brand new 2024 Tesla Model 3 Performance. Yes, this is the fastest Model 3 you can buy. It's actually 20 grand more than the standard Model 3 rear wheel drive. This video is going to look at what extras you get for that extra 20 grand. So it's not going to be a full in-depth review of the Tesla Model 3. I've already done that if you want to check that up there. So if you want to watch a 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds, stay tuned. And if you enjoy car content like this, hit subscribe. You can get 4 variants of the Model 3 now. You've got the rear wheel drive, you've got the long range rear wheel drive, you've got the long range all wheel drive, and of course I've got the performance all wheel drive as well. So what performance upgrades do you get? Well, quite a lot actually. You've got this embedded extra chassis technology. For the first time in the Model 3, you've got adaptive dampers, bigger brakes, lower to the ground, stiffer springs, still the same standard battery as well. So the way they've mapped it and tweaked it is quite impressive actually. With electric cars, usually as standard, you get quite a bit of understeer. I mean, Teslas do a really good job of mimicking the steering rack, and because you don't really have that full natural feel of the front tyres, I just feel the steering a little nervous. But with this, with the adaptive dampers, you can actually customize that in the track mode app that you don't get in the standard model. The track mode version 3, which is really good actually. You can really customize the sort of understeer and oversteer of the car. You can also change the sort of torque split as well between the front and the rear. Really is a lot to play with. You can also turn the stability assist off, gives you G-force and all that. So there's a lot of options there that I feel would really appeal to the driving enthusiast. So the suspension has been tweaked. You've got a double wishbone at the front and multi-rear link suspension. I mean, you do get a bit more road noise, obviously feel the bumps a bit more. Because this is a performance focused car, it doesn't mess around and it can be quite brutal and serious with the acceleration, and it pulls all the way through. This is the all-wheel drive dual motor. You cannot be adding this addition and then going, do you know what, it's a bit too firm. But I like how you can pretty much just weave it back into the dynamics of standard and standard handling as well. With it being the performance package, you do get a bespoke performance design. And to be fair, you're probably thinking it kind of just looks the same. And you'd be right, there isn't really much difference. I like to think of the Model 3 Performance as like a sleeper car, as the differences are more to do with the internals, but the more keen-eyed would probably recognise you've got this front splitter and upright air intakes on the sides as well. But remember, this has been lowered, so the front splitters can catch on curbs as well, so just be wary of that. The performance package comes more relevant on the side and at the back. You've got thicker anti-roll bars, 20-inch forged alloy wheels, proper Pirelli tyres on this. Front and rear tyre have got staggered depths, just like what you get in a BMW M3. But you do get these aero inserts as well. You can take these out, and you've got the red Tesla brake calipers in there as well. So let's have a look at the rear design. This is where things start to look a bit more sportier compared to the standard. You do get this carbon fibre rear ducktail spoiler, but on the back you've also got this kind of placard badge here. I think this is meant to symbolise the Performance Edition, but the last Model 3 didn't have it, and also it's different to the Model S Plaid as well. Maybe it's just to identify this as the performance model a bit more. At the bottom here, this is a lot different as well. You've got this huge lowered diffuser here at the bottom as well. But you still get the huge same boot as you do in the standard Model 3. These seats are really comfortable as well. They're perforated, you've got a little logo emblem in the middle there, which is the same design as the plaque on the rear. It's even got sort of like bolstered seats with the performance pack. You don't really get that in the rear either. You also get carbon fibre inserts on the dash, but it all just feels quite smooth. I love the driving position in Tesla, it's really good, and you can adjust this seat as well. 0 to 60 in the Tesla Model Y Performance, insane sport. I'll keep it in steady steering, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that was fast. That's really quick. And believe it or not, this is not even the fastest car Tesla do. You've got the ludicrous mode in the Model S Plaid. You don't get that in the Tesla Model 3 Performance. Is the 0 to 60 a little bit gimmicky? I don't think so. I mean, you can have a lot of fun with it. But yeah, the lift is just incredible. I mean, it was always good in the Teslas anyway, but this really does take it to the next level. Almost like snaps you straight back into your seat. Probably get a few whiplash claims from your passengers, but it's all part of the fun. And I don't think it ever gets old. It really does help you out in certain situations, like coming out of a junction. You know you've got that raw power behind you. And to be fair, the Tesla Model 3 dual motor, quick enough. You don't really need to go for that peak performance if you don't want. Also, anyone thinking of going for the performance pack, rest assured, even though you've got that extra power, it doesn't seem to drain your battery. It's not as dramatic as you think. It has been quite good, and the regen braking in the Tesla Model 3 really does kind of marry up really well. It is going to drain your battery a lot more if you are using it in a spirited fashion. The brake feel though, I wish it was a bit more firmer. It's a bit weird because they are bigger brakes as well. And also the weight of the car, just over 1.8 tons. So for an electric car, that's quite impressive. So the things I'm not keen on with the Model 3 Performance isn't with the performance trim. It's more to do with the new revised Model 3 in general. The controls are really fiddly, and having to change from drive to reverse on the screen just quite annoying. And sometimes you get confused if you're in a rush, and if you accelerate very quickly, you can end up putting it in reverse. Especially if you're in the performance model and want to flick up and go. Still not a fan of the indicator buttons on the steering wheel, especially you've got the performance model. So if you're putting your foot down and you're trying to change lane, I'm sometimes having to recheck which indicator I've chosen. Have I chosen left? Have I chosen right? And also the indicator noise isn't that loud, so you really don't know whether you're still indicating or not. So just little niggles that I just wish they were so easy to change, and I know it is because they've done it before. So let's wrap up this video review on the new 2024 Tesla Model 3 Performance. And this is a huge upgrade compared to the previous Model 3 Performance. Make no mistake, the old Model 3 was not a slouch. But this, the sort of improvements to the chassis, the bigger brakes, the lower ride, and the performance on this special with the track mode is actually something quite special. Kind of puts to shame most Lamborghinis, to be honest, because this comes in at £60,000. It is expensive, but for what you get, it isn't really. I'd say if you are looking for a performance EV, I don't know where else you would want to look. So let us know in the comments below, would you pay the extra £20,000 for the Model 3 Performance? And if you enjoy car content like this, hit subscribe. A big shout out to Tesla in Manchester for letting me review the new Tesla Model 3 Performance. If you are interested, I'll leave a link in the comment section below. Hope you've enjoyed the video and stay tuned for the next one on Is It Worth It?